let's talk about the Hive. The homicidal, planet-conquering, light-eating, world-stealing, darkness-worshipping maniacs, driven by a single fanatic philosophy. That can be destroyed, must be destroyed. The Hive are responsible for some of the biggest atrocities in the Destiny universe. The Great Disaster, the Taken War, others that I don't know. So you'd have to be a special kind of crazy to systematically hunt them, right? I'm in the hot springs for this episode. I'll be hunting this many fellas. And we all know the rules of the hunt. Eliminate the specific enemy variants of the faction that I have chosen to hunt today. Raid exclusive bosses and shit like that are excluded. Must be clean kills, must be clear that I did it. I covered this in the last episode. If you didn't watch it, that's on you. Wow. Today the journey begins where most journeys begin. Earth. Again, more specifically, the funny little bunker from the last adventure that I've made sure to save for later. In the dingy, disgusting, tetanus-infested bunker, I happily find the first of my prey. This acolyte, and a thrall. Starting the day off very well indeed. Unfortunately, that was really all that was in the bunker, just more thrall and more acolyte, so I go for a little drive and see what I can find in the Lunar Complex. I make my way through the complex, and I'm happy to find these two acolytes standing guard. They're not what I'm looking for, but they indicate that there should be more Hive here, so I'm feeling happy. I'm not gonna eat any of these Hive. They're like darkness-worshipping maniacs, and I just kind of think they taste just kind of rotten. I mean, look at them. They're just... And they have worms in them. Like, straight up, that's part of the lore. They have, like, worm familiars that they keep in them, that they do, like, blood ties with to give them more powers. And that's not gonna taste well at all. These are just for the trophy room. Bye-bye. Turns out those acolytes may not have been the best guides, as I'm jumped by a group of Taken who just weren't here before, and they're special. Like, the last time I went through the Cosmodrome, these Taken just weren't here. So this was really surprising. After surviving the Taken, my efforts are rewarded with a Shrieker, a Knight, and a Cursed Thrall. I guess I'm taking its pelvis bone. Let me check if everything's off the screen. Go away, notification. Thank you. I exit the complex, and am lucky enough to find myself in a public event, where a whole bunch of enemies show up. Or at least, I assumed that I was lucky, because my teammates steal the Hive Wizard kill. Not once, but twice. And I'm left standing alone in the dirt feeling sad. But I happily kill this third one, so you know, like snakes and roundabouts. That's not the saying at all. We summon the boss ogre, and my teammates steal the kill from me again. But I won't be discouraged, because I happen to know that there is an ogre underneath this area. So I find him, and I string him up, and I murder him in a really, brutal and violent way. This was Like, I had a heavy weapon. I could have killed him in 2 shots, but I just made it keep going through the process of me shooting it and then tying it up and then shooting it. And now, those of you paying attention will notice that I got through these Hive very quickly. And I did. This was like a few minutes in the Cosmodrome and I had everyone on my list. Except for one. Crota. I know what you're thinking. I said that I wasn't going to be hunting any raid bosses. And I'm not. Because I can kill Crota without going into the raid where you fight him. I hope you're ready for some mind-bending exploration, because we're going to Eternity. You see, in Days of Eternity, one of the boss fights that you can have is Crota, so I can kill him without doing the raid. Now, the chance of getting Crota as the boss fight in Days of Eternity is 1 in 3. So I thought that I would be doing this quite a bit until I got this fight. However, on the very first run through, I got the boss fight. So I guess it's time to murder a demigod. So, with that string of good luck, it was off to the next location. The Moon. Here, we're going to be hunting the Scarlet Hive. That's not actually their name, by the way, but it should be, because they live in the Scarlet Keep, and they dress in red. I was, again, very lucky. I found a public event, which no one else was doing, which was this Hive ritual. And in it, I found pretty much everything I was looking for. I had an acolyte, a knight, wizard, thrall, and a cursed thrall. I also murdered this other wizard just kind of for fun. It was shaping up to be a pretty good day on the moon. I'm gonna... Okay, this is a side tangent. But... and I've gone into this before. When Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon, and they collected all the, samples of moon rocks and stuff, do you think one of them had the idea, just turn to the other and go, hey, we could be the first human beings in history to shove a piece of the moon up our ass? How could you resist the temptation? No one would have done it before. It was about here that my good luck kind of ran dry. I got it into my head but the best way to find the 2 remaining enemies on my list, that being the Scarlet Ogre and the Scarlet Shrieker, was by going deeper into the moon. I'm not going to say how long I spent there, but I'm going to say that this next clip is at 50 times its original speed. Suffice to say, I found nothing. So, I did the only rational thing, and I launched up the Scarlet Keep strike. Now, I had a pretty good memory of there being a section where you grab these orbs on a bridge, and you, You put them into pedestals and the drawbridge comes down and there's an ogre on the other side. And I was fairly certain there was a shrieker in the elevator section. However, I didn't remember how many other enemies there would be on this bridge that would distract me. And distract me to the point of my teammate stealing the kill from me. This didn't happen just here, but it happened in like another section as well. So there were no more ogres in the entire strike for me to kill. So I had to relaunch the mission just to kill this ogre on the bridge. And you can see my determination in this clip. I am unwavering. It doesn't matter what's jumping at me or what's trying to eat me, I go forward. My teammates rush ahead of me, and once again, steal a kill from under my nose. And then they abandon me and take the lift to the top. However, joke's on them, because by doing this, a shrieker spawns, so really I win if you think about it. I proceed to do one of the most entertaining sections in any strike. Like, I really like this part, where you go up on the lift, and the enemies roll around, so you gotta shoot, and there isn't much cover, so you have to rely on each other. And it's really, I guess, like an action movie. It's fun. Now, there is another target here. A secret one. And that is Hashladun. She pretty much is just a stand-in for Xivu Arath. And Hashladun is pretty much in charge of the Scarlet Keep. And she's the child of Crota, who I killed several minutes ago, so you know, it kinda works. What do you call the child of a demigod? A demigod?
Here she comes.
Now, while I was sort of just dicking about on the moon, some kind of lucent war broke out, where the Witch Queen of the Hive attempted to steal the Traveler, the cosmic being that gives us all our powers, and is wielding the light, which is what we usually use, and is trying to, I don't know, as the witness or something or other. I don't get involved with this stuff. I just hunt people. This is for the protagonist. But I guess the main protagonist was busy that day, so the Vanguard got me to help instead. So, it's time to pack away those moon boots, because we're going to the throne world. Now, I was fairly certain that I could encounter every single enemy on my list if I launched up the final mission of the Witch Queen campaign. I begin this mission by going on a pleasant little drive, which I always like because it's just this sort of ramping up to before the madness begins. And it makes me sort of think, this is a really weird challenge that I've imposed on myself. Like, it's very unlike most Destiny challenge things that I see. In the terms of it is a whole lot easier. I have watched videos of people trying to beat the Witch Queen campaign only using a damaged Traveler's Chosen, which is the worst pistol in the game, or just using supers, or like limiting their like loadout to match certain characters. Like that stuff that's actually difficult. And this is me just sorta flopping around the world, trying to put specific enemies in my trophy room. This is something that I didn't think would do that well, but like at the time of recording this, almost 8,000 people have watched the previous video, so I mean, I must be doing something, right? Anyway, on with the hunt. I happily add the Lucent Thrall to my list of trophies, and after a bit of back and forth, I kill my first Hive Lightbearer, a Titan like myself. I guess I also add a ghost to my trophy list. Like, I've never wanted to kill one of these before, but now that I've got the opportunity, the crunch is kind of satisfying. I also add a Lucent Wizard to my list. So it's been a productive day. I find a group of Thrall who are very insistent on eating me alive. I politely ask them not to eat me, and then I kill them. I mean, I guess I add the Lucent Moth to the list. I mean, I'm not even sure if this thing's alive, but it moves and tries to kill me, so up it goes. I interrupt this fight between this knight and the Scorned Chieftain, and add the knight to my trophy list. I stare down this big old ogre, ready to take him on. And Ikora steals the kill from me. This is the last time I do anything for the Vanguard. I quickly find a Lucent Acolyte and add him to my list. Another group of Thrall decide to eat me, so I freeze them. I love stasis. This is such a cool power. This Hive Hunter challenges me to a fight to the death, and I destroy him entirely. Like, I thought this was going to be much harder than it was. I was fairly confident in this little mini-boss section, but I could find the remainder of the enemies that I was looking for. I quickly find a Lucent Ogre and detach all his molecules. Like, that's what Strand does. Like, it doesn't just disintegrate you. It, like, removes your molecules from the material plane, I think. And I find a Shrieker. Now, this part is a bit tricky, because you have to put the orb into its special little orb slot, whilst the fucking Hive Warlock is blasting you with stuff. And this'll drop the shield, but only partially, so you can't damage the fella blasting you with stuff. But I had a strategy. That strategy being that I would sort of float down with my little Titan ability, and I would deploy a stasis grenade, which would make a little wall. And then I would put the orb in the orb slot, whilst maintaining a little shield of cover. I botch my own strategy as badly as possible. Like, I'm not gonna just watch the clip. Just watch the clip. Some of the worst game playing I have ever done, ever, in anything. However, I do deposit the orbs in the orb places, so I'm ready to destroy the Hive Warlock. I rush to destroy his ghost and grind it into little ghosty dust, but I quickly do this little jump in the air when I see this cursed Thrall. And then I crushed the ghost, and I felt really cool because I did it in one fluid motion. And now there's only one target left. Sutherfoon, the Witch Queen, the Hive God of Cunning and Lies.
I'm so glad you're here to see this. against your cousins, asked to defy the will of the Traveler. My ghosts make no concessions. We serve the Traveler's true interests.
No concessions? How stupid do you think I am? You and your siblings, you killed my friends!
These frail siblings will soon be claimed by life.
No, that's not what happened. So now you want to play games? Then let's play!
Ba 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 ba.
Isn't this interesting? I miscalculated. So did you, Guardian. So protective of your Traveler that you wouldn't let me keep it safe. But the witness is coming. The game is yours to play now. Yours to win or lose.
Well, that doesn't seem like something that'll bite us in the ass later. Oh, I also did the Lifeblade strike for fun. He's a different enemy, so I guess he goes on the board, he counts. Ha-ba-ba-ba. And with that, this section of the hunt is complete.